Every single time you go through a breakup, you're like, what's wrong with me? Like, literally, what is wrong with me? Am I a crazy person? I'm here to tell you you're not crazy. You're perfectly valid. If you're only posting an Instagram story so that you can check the viewers and see if he's there and see if he's liked it and he's gonna text you back and confess his undying love for you, then maybe you should just keep it in the drafts, you know? Hi, I'm Daisy, welcome to my channel. Today I kind of just want to talk about like breakups in general and just like the feelings that surround them, because I think a lot of the time it's kind of hard to relate to people about it because obviously everyone has such different experiences, and it's nice sometimes to just hear people talk and to hear people say things that you're thinking in your head and you can be like, oh, that's so true, I relate to that. So I kind of just wanted to put this out there and hope that somebody can take something from it. So if you're going through a breakup, please take a seat, grab a cup of tea, and we can talk it through together. Let's get into it. I think the hardest part about going through a breakup is honestly the fact that nobody around you will completely understand you. Like when your friends go through a breakup, all you want to do is comfort them and tell them, look, when I was with my last boyfriend, XYZ happened and this all worked out and trust me, you're gonna be fine. And like, you know that they're gonna be fine and you just want to like shake them and tell them like, you're gonna be fine, you just need time. But it's like when you're in that position and you're hearing other people tell you all these stories about their partners and things that happened to them, and like even if those things that happened to them might have been worse than what happened to you, it's like nothing can compare to that feeling because you just know that they don't know this person like you do, and they can't understand why you want to be with this person. They think, why are you with this guy or with this girl who is like treating you so bad or like isn't understanding you, or like clearly they can see something that you're not seeing, but at the same time it's like they're not seeing what you're seeing, and what you're seeing is like that person through a lens of love. And that's why it's really important to just have sympathy for yourself in times like this. Like when you're going through a breakup, you just have to be sympathetic towards yourself and be like, look, do you know what? Sometimes you are going to stay up till 3 a.m. thinking about it and you're not going to be able to go to sleep. And even when you do go to sleep, you'll wake up in the morning and you'll check your phone and that person won't have texted you and you'll be like, oh, and you'll just like feel it all over again, you know? And it's like, that's part of it, unfortunately. And sometimes when you're going through it, it makes you feel like, I'm never gonna do this again. Like, I'm never gonna talk to a man again. I'm never gonna like go through this again. I'm never gonna put myself out there this same way again. But it's like, you will, girl. Trust me, you will. Like, you will, for the right person, you will do it again. And it's like, you'll do it again and again and again. And every single time you go through a breakup, you're like, what's wrong with me? Like, literally, what is wrong with me? Am I a crazy person? I'm here to tell you you're not crazy. You're perfectly valid. The easiest thing to do in a breakup is just think about like all the ways that you messed up and all the things that you could have done better. Like, why didn't I do this? Or like when he said that, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I da 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 da? And it's like, there's a certain point that you have to get to where you understand that if things were gonna work out, they would have. And they obviously haven't for a reason. And if you tried to do things differently, it probably would have ended up the same way, because if that person was right for you, you wouldn't have got to that point. In most breakups, people often think that there's one person at fault. You know, like all of your friends will be like, fuck that guy, he's so bad, like that's not your man, like you're too good for him. And then I'm sure all his friends are probably thinking the same thing about you. And that's like hard to think about, obviously, because you obviously want to be right in every single situation, but like maybe you're not, you know? And all you can do is kind of look at it from your perspective and kind of stop overthinking things and stop thinking, what if he thinks this, and what if he did that, and what if we did this together, and like all these things, like it just piles up and you start overthinking it, and it's like nothing could have changed the outcome. Like the input that you put in, that was the relationship, you know? And if you change any part of it, it wouldn't have been the same relationship. So you had to see what you had to see to get to that point and to know that person in that way, and the things that you experienced and saw had to happen for you to get to where you are. And it majorly sucks when like you love someone so much and you just want to be with someone, but you just know you can't be. Like you just know that like this isn't right, like something about this isn't right, like maybe it's just the wrong time, or maybe it's just the wrong person, I don't know, like whatever it is that's wrong, something is wrong, and maybe you don't know what it is yet. Maybe you're too like close in there and like it's too raw to understand what the actual problem was, but it's like you just have to accept that you made the right choice, or the universe made the right choice for you, whatever way it happened, and like you just have to be at peace with that. It's really hard in the beginning because I think you go from having such a trust in someone and like such a trust that someone is going to be there for you all the time, to opposite end of the spectrum, like I said, where it's like you wake up in the morning and you don't even have a text from them, you can't even look at photos of them, or you don't have any plans for the weekend with them, and it's like that really hurts, you know, because you had such a routine, and whether you saw them all the time or whether you didn't, it doesn't really matter, because in the back of your mind you knew it was there. And it's like you've gone from not thinking about it that much, because obviously you're in the relationship and you're just happy it's there and you trust that it's there and it's like in the back of your mind all the time, to this opposite end of the spectrum where you're constantly thinking about that person because they're not there to tell you any different, they're not there to calm you down, they're not there to tell you that they still love you and they still care about you, which probably is the case. Like, I think with a lot of girls especially, like, we always jump to like, he hates me, oh my god, like, this is the worst thing ever, like, he hates me, he's blocked me and everything. It's like, maybe he just removed you because he just can't bear to look at you, you know? Like, maybe it's hurting him and it's like, that's fair too. Like, you're not the only person going through a breakup, you know? And it's easy enough to say, oh, he hates me, like, I'm so in pain and he's completely fine, he's out here partying, he's doing this stuff, and it's like, girl, maybe he's doing it because he just wants you to think that he's okay, or he wants other people to think that and he's not. Like, you don't have to jump to these conclusions. All you can really do is, like, trust your own thoughts, you know? You can't really overthink on other people's perspective so much, otherwise you will go crazy. My advice that I always tell my friends is just be so sad and so in it. Like, if you want to cry all day and eat Ben and Jerry's ice cream, you need to do that. Like, you actually need to do that for your mental health, because if you push it away, it will come back at some point. Like, you need to go through the motions of it at some point. It may as well be right now, you know, while it's raw, while it's fresh in your mind, while you're still like hung up on it. You may as well think about it, because you're going to, realistically. I'm sorry, I know it's hard to believe, but you are. And I think in that kind of same respect of like just being in it and feeling it and being sad and, you know, feeling all your feelings, it's also important to not like overdo things. Like, for example, if you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna look amazing and he's gonna feel so jealous and he's gonna feel like, oh, why did I ever break up with her? It's like, babe, that's not gonna help you. Like, if you're only posting an Instagram story so that you can check the viewers and see if he's there and see if he's liked it and he's gonna text you back and confess his undying love for you, then maybe you should just keep it in the drafts, you know? I've done it so many times where I've been like, I'm gonna post an Instagram story and I'm gonna look so bad, and it's like, it genuinely has never worked, I don't think, actually, ever in my life. Maybe it has and they just haven't texted me back, but like, I'm just telling you, like, I'm saving you the embarrassment and the cringiness, and maybe just don't do it. And honestly, being peaceful and being quiet is actually a better thing, because I think it's like, that's what a lot of guys do, honestly. Like, girls will be checking their snap score and checking their Instagram, being like, why isn't he posting anything? Like, why is he, where is he, what's he doing? Like, you're questioning it so much because you can't see what he's doing, and normally you know exactly what he's doing and you're like, oh, he's out with his friends tonight, or I'm seeing him tonight, or whatever, and now you don't know anything. And it's like, that honestly just like makes it worse for you. So it's like, if you were looking at his Instagram story, like, it was flipped the other way around and he was posting stuff and you could tell that it was just for you, and it was like in, you know, the favorite shirt that you said you liked and like the hairstyle that you said you liked, and he was doing that, you'd be like, oh, he's just doing that for me. Like, that's like freaking me out, kind of, because we both need space, we both need time to like be hurt right now. So I think if you just, you know, before you do things, maybe just like try and look at it from their perspective and just maybe like hold back, like give yourself a day, like give yourself a sleep on it, and then maybe you can post the Instagram afterwards. It's so hard to give advice on breakups, and that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to like talk right now, because it's like, I've always tried to be that person for my friends who is there, who like can listen to them talk about their breakup and not pass judgment. And I really do like try and do that, because I've needed that so many times and my friends have been that for me. And I just think all you can do and all your friends can do for you is just like listen and not try and pass judgment and not try to impart their own experience onto you. Because it's really hard to hear, like, when your friend is like, oh, well, you're going through a breakup and your boyfriend was like, you know, you guys just drifted apart, but my boyfriend cheated on me with 6 different girls, and then it's like, that actually has nothing to do with my situation, and I actually don't care right now. Like, all I care about right now is just like feeling hurt and like being sad and like listening to Olivia Rodrigo, and it's like, that's what I want to do right now, and that's completely okay. Like, everyone has a different healing process, and some people's healing process is literally just like, right, I'm gonna get up, I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna get back on track. And some people's is just to wallow in bed for a bit. And do you know what? Whatever is your path, you can take that path, and that is completely valid. I also think that journaling is really helpful, like writing down your feelings and just not overthinking things. Like, I'm someone who really tends to overthink a lot, and I just think like whenever I am spiraling and I'm thinking this and this and this and this and this, I'm like, Daisy, you need to just like get a pen and paper and write right now. And when you write things down, it really does give you another perspective, because you're looking at it and you're like, okay, this is correct. Like, I don't even want to write this down because I just sound insane and none of this is true. Like, you get to a point in your head where you realize, which is really important, that your thoughts are not you. And you are not your thoughts. They are just something that is being told to you, and you are the person that is listening to them. Just because there's a voice in your head telling you, he's cheating on you, he's out doing this, he's, you know, he's onto another girl, like he's followed this girl last week, so he must be getting with her. maybe that's not the case. Like 90% of the time that is not the case, and okay, granted, sometimes it is, and that's horrible. And if that's you, girl, that's fine. You also need to get a Ben and Jerry's out and wallow in that situation. But I'm just saying, like, if you're overthinking in that way, you just need to stop. It doesn't do anyone any good. It doesn't do good for you or him, because if you do have a time when you get to talk together or you want to get back together with him, you've already kind of like passed judgment on him and on them, and you've just, you know, you've placed this action on them which might not have even been true, and you have this kind of image of them in your head that might be distorting the reality of it and what is actually the truth. So just don't take your thoughts for fact, because they are not factual. I also see a lot of TikToks, I don't know how, but whenever you go through a breakup, it's like TikTok just knows, and they just like funnel you all this information of like, this is a breakup, this is how to get through a breakup, da, 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 and it's like really overwhelming. So I would recommend not just taking every single TikTok's advice and just pouring all your energy into yourself. Take the time to do the things that make you feel happy, make you feel loved. Like, okay, maybe the reason that you broke up with your boyfriend is because you didn't spend enough time together. Okay, so give that to yourself. Go and take yourself on a date, go to a park, get yourself a matcha, do some drawings, do some journaling, even just like watch YouTube in a different setting, and like take yourself out for a date. You know, the things that you always wanted him to do for you, you can do that for yourself. If he didn't compliment you enough, go and compliment yourself. Like, you can do it yourself. You don't need somebody else to do it for you. And that's something that I think you learn as you go through a lot of like breakups and relationships and things, is like, just because that other person didn't do it for me doesn't mean I'm not worthy of it. And I can actually just do it for myself, and I can pour all that energy into me instead of pouring all my energy into begging somebody else to do it for me. Like, I could just do it for myself. I also think that a really good way to kind of like help you to give yourself a little pick-me-up when you're going through a breakup is to get ready in the morning. And it doesn't need to be great, like you don't need to look insane or anything, but it's just like, you know, instead of just walking around in your pajamas all day, like maybe just like put on a nice t-shirt. Like, ease yourself into it. Like, put on some mascara, like straighten your hair, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to like go insane with it, but it's just like taking care of yourself in the ways that you did when you were in a relationship. Like, if you were going on a date with this person, would you have dressed how you are right now, or would you have like put some effort into it? You know, you can do that for yourself. If you're going to take yourself on a date to get a coffee in the morning, dress up for yourself, put that energy into yourself, because I think soon you will realize that like you didn't actually need the other person, you just wanted them. You wanted them so bad, and you wanted them to want you, which is like completely fair and valid, and like that is not a bad thing at all. But now that you can't have them, in your head you're thinking, oh, they don't want me because I'm the problem, and that might not be the case. It probably isn't the case. It's probably just like different paths, you know, and like things happen and things unfold in different ways, and I think that you just kind of need to focus on yourself. And like, as hard as it is sometimes you'll be focusing on yourself all day. Sometimes you'll be having a great day and you'll be like, I'm doing everything that I want to do, I've done all my hobbies, I've done my work, I've like had an amazing day, I've hung out with people, like I've had so much happiness in my day, and then it will still get to 10 p.m. in your bed and you'll still be crying about it. And it's like, that's fine. It doesn't need to be glamorous. It doesn't need to be like a, oh my gosh, I'm over it. Like, it doesn't need to be like a moment like that. Like, it will come slowly, and you know, you're allowed to be hurt, and you probably are hurt. Everyone is, realistically, when they get broken up with, and even if that person that you were with doesn't look like they're hurt, trust me, they are. And if they're not right now, they definitely will be, because you have to grieve things to get over them. As sad as it sounds, like the sooner you are sad, the sooner you'll be happy, you know? And I know this is not something that people want to hear when they're like going through a sad time, but if the object of life is to experience things, like at least you can say you're doing that, you know, like at least you can say that you put yourself out there to finding love and to like having that and being in that. And even if you've lost it now, it's like that famous quote that's like, it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. I think that's so true. Like, I would never stop myself from being in love with someone or being in a relationship with someone just because of like previous patterns or things that have happened, because at the end of the day, like, it's your life, you get to experience things, and one day you will find someone who looks at you like an absolute ray of sunshine and looks at you like nothing is wrong, and you know, the way that you react to things won't be wrong to them, and it won't be like, oh, she's being over dramatic, she's being crazy. It'll be like, wow, like she's so passionate about this, let me hear her out, you know? And like, that's what I want. Like, I want to be with someone who like doesn't want to change me. And obviously it's good to grow as a person, and like not everyone is right in every situation, like no one is a perfect person right now, but I want someone to look at me and be like, I don't want to change her. Like, I know that she's doing good for herself and changing for the better for herself every single day because she puts the work in, but like, I would have her right now as she is, and I wouldn't change anything, you know? And I think that's what we all really do want. And sometimes we just pick someone that we really want and we try and like enforce that onto them, and like enforce that idea where it's like, you have to want me for me, you have to want me for how I am right now. And it's like, maybe they just don't, because they're not the right person for you, and that's okay. If you fill up your own cup and you fill up the, you know, the gaps in the love that you have in your life, like, I don't know, maybe when you were younger, you didn't feel appreciated, and so that's what you want in a relationship. Like, if you do that for yourself now, then when you get into the next relationship, you won't be sort of imparting that onto the person and being like, why aren't you appreciating me? Why aren't you doing this? Because you already did it for yourself. So if they aren't showing up for you in that way, you won't feel that love towards them, because you'll be like, okay, well, I can do that for myself, and you're not showing up for me in the way that I've asked you to and that I've shown that I wanted to, so I don't really need to be around you or want to be around you. And a lot of times we don't even realize that we're being toxic. We don't even realize that we're kind of forcing people to change their ways for us. Like, maybe the way that you communicate is by having a conversation, sit down right then and there, but maybe the person you're with needs like 2 days to think about things and to like mull things over. And if you're getting mad at them for being like, no, I need to talk right now, I need to do it right now, like, I don't want to be with you because you can't talk to me right now, like, find that middle ground, you know, like, talk in a day, or like have a little chat now and then have a little break, like have some time away from each other. You have to respect other people's boundaries and other people's situations, and a lot of the time we can kind of be self-centered, especially when we're young and we're going through these things and we're like, why didn't they love me for how I am right now? And it's like, the reason that you can't be together right now is because you don't love yourself yet, you know, and maybe you don't realize that, but it might be true, and maybe the universe is just like, hold up, like, it will come in time, but you just need time. Love is not the be-all end-all, okay? Sometimes the be-all end-all is finding yourself, and maybe this situation is pushing you to do that. So just try and find the things to be grateful for in your everyday life. Fill your surroundings with people that do love you and who do want to spend time with you, because I'm sure that you have it. Even if right now you're thinking, I'm unlovable, nobody loves me, like, he hates me, he doesn't want to be with me. I'm sure you have a best friend who's sat right now worrying about you. Like, go hang out with her, you know, fill up your time with her. And I'm sure she's happy to sit and listen to you talk, or not, about this person, and you're gonna have a great time. Just try your best to feel your feelings. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope someone took something from this. I wasn't really trying to do like a how-to or anything. I just kind of wanted to talk. So I hope something resonated with somebody, and yeah, love you guys. Thank you, bye.